So this is those are the characteristics of a CMOS inverter. So this is how you should draw the CMOS inverter manually. So this is a CMOS inverter of a layout of a CMOS inverter. So now we have completed the layout of CMOS inverter. We'll try to design now the layout of a CMOS buffer. We'll try to design the layout of CMOS buffer, and we'll try to check what will be the characteristics of a CMOS buffer. So first, for that one, save this one. I think we have already saved a CMOS inverter. Okay, next we'll now enter into the new window, and go to palette, design two CMOS inverters next to each other and make a connection between the two CMOS inverters. So for that one, take polysilicon P diffusion first, P diffusion, 4 lambda P diffusion. We have width, we have taken 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, I think it's still more 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one I can reduce with the help of gun button. You can cut that one extra layer. Okay, 4 lambda. Wow, width we have taken PMOS. There's a P diffusion. Then in the similar fashion, go to the N diffusion. Draw the N diffusion here below, exactly below that one. So this is an N diffusion, and after that, draw the source and drain with the help of a metal layer. The 3 lambda drain will be drawn here upon the P diffusion, and again upon this one we'll try to draw the source terminal. Okay, here I can make an adjustment. I can draw it completely. So now I have drawn the source terminal and drain terminal of your P diffusion. 1, 2, 3. So now we have drawn the source and drain terminal of a P transistor. In the similar fashion, draw the polysilicon. Now we have completed the polysilicon of this particular PMOS. So now this is a complete PMOS. So in order to make it as a complete PMOS, we should make a contact here. Why? Because this polysilicon, this is a metal layer. Make an appropriate contact. Go to the P diffusion and metal contact. Click it on this P option and make a contact here. Now this is a drain terminal of your PMOS, and go to the P diffusion and metal contact and click it here. So now this is a source terminal of your PMOS. Coming to this one, and now create the source and drain of the NMOS. Click it on palette. With the help of metal one, draw the drain terminals. So now this is a drain terminal of your NMOS. I'll do on. Okay, now this is a drain terminal of NMOS, and in a similar fashion, I'll draw the source terminal also. So this is a drain source terminal. You can see now some layer has drawn outside. By using this cut option, by using that gun option, you can remove that one also. Okay, now this is a source terminal of your NMOS. So in order to make the electrical contact between the N diffusion and source terminal and drain terminal, go to the appropriate option in the palette. That is the contact of N diffusion and metal, and place it on this particular part. That wherever the metal one and the N diffusion layer have been connected. So now this becomes a source and drain terminal of NMOS. And similar fashion, by using polysilicon, draw the polysilicon. By using polysilicon, draw the gate terminal. So now we have completed our gate terminals. I think we have drawn it some bit. It should be drawn exactly below that one to look the layout good. Okay, now it's okay, I think so. Fine. Now we have completed the complete. This is a PMOS and this is NMOS structure. So for that one, you draw the envelope on the PMOS, envelope on the PMOS. Now we have completed a complete PMOS with the help of NML fabrication. So now this is the NML and supply the power supplies. There's a voltage supply, VDD, and in the similar way, ground terminal, and make an contact. Contacts have been done. Now, with the help of polysilicon, make both the gates are to be connected. So connect both the gates. So now we have connected both the gates here. And a similar way, connect both the drain terminals with the help of metal layer. So now we have made a connection between the metal layers. So now this is your complete CMOS inverter. You should supply the inputs. So supply the clock. But first you create the terminal, input terminal, and also output terminal. Okay, now you put the contacts here for the polysilicon and metal one. So this is a input terminal, this is output terminal, and feed the input terminal with the clock signal. Now this is a input one, so make it as a in and assign. And this is for that one for output. Output, always make sure it is visible in simulation. Okay, I'll give one intermediate name. Why? Because this is an what to say, it will become as an intermediate layer between the inverter and inverter. So I'll give it as in bar. I'll name it as in bar. In bar. First, I'll try to put it in not in simulation. Why? Because my main aim is to get the output of a buffer, CMOS buffer. So I'll put it as not a simulation. Later, we'll try to see that simulation of this one also. Okay, assign. And put the contacts. Here also contact. Okay, see now. Now we have completed a CMOS inverter. CMOS inverter has been done. I'll try to minimize this one so that I can copy the same CMOS inverter onto the next part. So with the help of copy elements, I'll select the area which I want to copy, and I can copy it and try to place exactly next to that one. Now I have copied. So see now, one CMOS inverter has been copied into the other one. In order to make this connection, if you make the connection, now it becomes as an CMOS buffer. So for that one, what I have done actually, so I'll go back and I'll show it again. Edit, undo. First, I have clicked on this one. This is the option of copy elements. Copy elements. Then select the area which you want to copy. Copy that one. And then once if you click, select that area, it will be copied and place exactly just as a previous one. Yeah, now we are completed. Okay. Now you remove this one with the help of this gun and make a connection between these two. Make a connection between these two with the help of metal layer. Metal one. You have connected both this one, both the layers. Okay, now we have done, this is a complete CMOS buffer. This is a CMOS buffer. Now we will try to simulate it. Okay, here I need to name it as a output, out, and put it as visible in simulation. And now the CMOS buffer has been done. CMOS buffer has been done. And you can even name this one anywhere. Okay, it is not showing output. Okay, it's showing for the output. Okay, I'll discuss that one later. So now first we'll try to enter into the simulation part. Save this one, save it, and click on simulate button. Run simulation. See now, I have told in the previous case, if you don't put any kind of VDD upon the N well, if you don't put any kind of VDD upon the N well, your entire design will be floating. So you can see the risk options here. The warning has been given, well polarization warning. Two N well regions are floating. Two N well regions are floating, and the floating of N well can damage either the chip and the software. So for that one, in order to avoid this one, we should put that particular VDD upon the N wells. So for that one, again, I'll go to that palette. Excuse me. If you see, you can see that outputs will be appeared like this. So first, I'll go to the palette, VDD, and also here another VDD. So if you don't put VDD, just now we have seen what happens. It will try to show okay, we have applied supplied the VDD to this N wells. Now save it again and simulate. You can see now here. First, see now. See, there is a huge amount of delay between these two. Why does this delay is obtained? The main reason is that why this delay, you can see whatever the input you have given, the same input has obtained here. Same input has obtained, but the delay you can find there's a 0.5 nanoseconds of delays between the input and output. So that's why you cannot see exactly below this input, you cannot see this output here. The main reason why it has happened is because of this. You can see here now, what is that? See here, in this part, in this particular part, in this particular part, see how this polysilicon is connected. There is no, we have not followed any kind of lambda based rules. That's why that those kind of errors has been occurred in the output. Because of this reason, and again you can see here, there is some kind of a problem with this particular structure, and here also some problem is there with this particular structure. So that's why this kind of errors we have occurred. But or else we have got the same kind of outputs. So this is the delay between input and output. So for this one, in order to eradicate this kind of delay, I'll try to go to the previous one and try to design it with the previous structure. So first, new, open. I'll check whether my CMOS inverter is there or not. Previous which I have created, CMOS inverter, open. So this is the one which we have done earlier. For this one, we'll try to copy it again. Copy elements, then copy this one and drag it onto the next part, and remove this button, this one. Okay, I'll make it as not in the simulation, and I'll change the name also, assign, and I need to remove this one. With the help of metal, I'll make a connection between these two. Okay, now both this, the output of CMOS inverter has become the input of a second CMOS inverter, and this becomes your output. It is visible in simulation. So let us check this one now. Save it and simulate. Here also there are some kind of design lambda rules problem is it, so that's why. But now the almost the delay has been now it is reduced compared to this previous structure. We can see exactly it has come. One, if input is 1, the output is going to be 1. If our output is going to be 0, then again the input is going to be 0, the output is also going to be 0. So for this one, in order to get the exact outputs, we should follow some design rules. Then only we can obtain the outputs. Let me change some time and check it whether it's obtaining correct. The same amount of delay has been transferred from from the input to output. Whenever the input is 0, the output is going to be 0. Whenever the input is 1, the output is going to be 1. So this is the characteristics of your CMOS buffer. So this is how the CMOS buffer will be working. So this is regarding the layout designing part of a CMOS inverter and also CMOS buffer. I hope everyone you have understood how to design the layout. So mostly the same rules will be used in order to design the layouts for any kind of EDA tools. For any kind of EDA tools, the rules will be the same, but only somewhere some of the points might be addition or you might not be there. Some of the point might be reducing, but almost the designing part will be same. So this is how your layout looks either for the CMOS inverter or CMOS buffer. I hope you all have understood how to draw the layouts.